It is that time of the year again, and we are talking about Buffalo Trace. This is the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. And if you're here, I'm Jack Bigadoo, also known as the Hood Sommelier, and we are going to talk about the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection of 2024. If you've been around the whiskey industry, I say this all the time, you heard of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, usually come at the end of September and pretty much tells you everything you need to know about what Buffalo Trace, what we call taters in the industry, are looking forward to. Buffalo Trace Antique Collection is made up of five different whiskey. The first one usually is the George C. Stagg, which is a distillery that was acquired by Sazerac in the past. The William Larue as well. The Sazerac brand, the Thomas Handy brand, and the Eagle Rare brand. Those are the five that you find in the antique collection. Usually every year, everyone has their favorite. Now, this year, they said the Weller William Larue has been the one that's the 20th year of the Weller William Larue, and I seem to be a special one. I don't know. Now, I've had a survey on my TikTok, and if you're here, if you don't follow me on TikTok, make sure you check out my TikTok as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you bring your friends, subscribe, and let's chat. Um, I want to actually get to the one that is the most talked about. Now, everyone probably will go for the Weller William Larue, but I would love to just kind of stop that one for another episode. So I would love to hear your comments here. If you'd like to see the Weller William Larue, because I know Fred Menick already reviewed it and a couple people already jumped on the occasion. But for me, every year I've always been impressed by the George T. Stagg. I don't know what is it about George T. Stagg every year that for me is probably the most interesting one. So by order, if you follow me, today I'm gonna do the George T. Stagg, and then we're gonna come back to it. And on the next episode, so make sure you stay tuned, we are gonna do the Weller William Larue, or we are going to do, I'll do the Sazerac, the Thomas Handy, which is the rye, and obviously then we'll come to the weeder. So I want you to actually know that these are hard to get. They're harder to get, but the MSRP this year by Buffalo Trace on any of this expression is 149. Now, you can go pay millions for it. That's not my business, but it's 149. So I just want you to know 149 is the MSRP. Probably by the time you get it's about 189. That's what it is. But I want to make sure we know the price of it so we understand what's happening. But hey, it's cold outside. Do you know what you need? A sweater. Get yourself a Hood Sommelier sweater. This is on my shop link below. And if you use my code in the comment, you get to have a discount. Hood Sommelier, this is how you support the channel. Go on my store, cop you a shirt. Pretty cool. George C. Stagg of this year is Colonel, I believe it's Colonel George C. Stagg, a brand that was acquired. He actually is a real person. Unlike most people, George C. Stagg is a real person. And this is what we have here. This is George C. Stagg right here. This is what the bottle, this is just a sample, but the bottle looks almost like this. This year, George C. Stagg is 68.5. 0.05% ABV, which is 136.1 proof. George C. Stagg probably is the ultimate bourbon. If you ever had Stagg Junior or just Stagg, you know it's barrel proof. So this is uncut, unfiltered, straight from the barrel badge George C. Stagg. Without further ado, let's try it and let's see what's up. All right. 2024 George C. Stagg Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. It's all right. There we go. The color on this whiskey I'm just gonna come out and say the color of this whiskey. I mean, average or I always hear is over 10 years old. There's never really a specific, but this year I believe it's close to 15. So these collection this year have been aged quite a while. So if there is one you want this year, one truly have been quite aged for a while. They're older on the rick house, close to 15. The nose on this whiskey, I mean, look at the color. I mean, there's nothing to be said here. Nose on this whiskey is spicier. Cinnamon and spice come through. There's not a lot of fruit, more a little bit of red fruit like some cherries, but very much so, very much so spicier. Cinnamon note, kind of that chili smell up. It may be the ethanol as well, but it's quite heavy on those red fruits or red cherries, a little fruity, but very cinnamon forward. All right, cheers. Whoa. Now, now, first impression, immediately first impression for me was oak, oak, oaky AF, oak. Now, this expression, obviously, like I mentioned, is older, it's 15 year. So you expect that it's oaky. But I almost feel like this is the expression that we probably have to add some water to see how it opens up. A little bit of water, bringing the ABV down, but also opening up a little bit of the whiskey so we see exactly what happened there. And disclaimer, it's okay to add water to your whiskey. Let's make this clear. I don't want none of you to come under here and say I ruined the whiskey or I don't add water. It's okay to add water to your whiskey, especially if it's older, if it's oaky. There's a lot going on. You need to break your whiskey down. So don't you come here with some bull about not adding water to your whiskey. And now that we have a little bit of water in, it's opening up. You get those floral notes that are coming through. Much floral, much, a little bit of that sweetness is coming through as well, but you still have that cinnamon over there. Mmm. Mmm. See, much better. I'm getting those lemon peels. I'm getting those oily note. I'm getting a little bit of that dark chocolate, that cherry note coming through. The ethanol is less, so at the end, my mouth is slowly oily. You get nice, you know, uh, fig note, dark chocolate, like dark cocoa chocolate note, some cherry, a little bit of that, like mandarin, um, citrusness. And at the finish is a little more shorter, but you get that nice Kentucky hug. It's beautiful. See, water makes a difference. When I had this immediately, it was just too much. It was too oaky. It was the ethanol was just hitting too high. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But a little bit of water in it, and now we open up nicely. We get those nice kind of, flower. I get a little bit of that lilac even in there, rose water style. And even we get those dark chocolate note, those dark cherry chocolate notes that come through, much savory, much more enjoyable, and very much so delicious. But when I had it immediately, first opinion for me was like, whoa, too much. Too much oak, a lot of ethanol. It was not enjoyable at all, but a little bit of water made a big difference. Let me know if you've tried the George C. Stagg of this year. Let me know if you have any note on it. and put in a comment before the next episode what Buffalo Trace Antique Collection would you like to see next. Till next time, I'm Jack Bigadoo. Cheers.